TV, live from Madhouse Studios. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Ludwig, Evan's co-host. We're joined in a few minutes by Evan and our other guests. We have mentalist, magician Tommy Burnett. We have journalist Mike Brown, educator Susan Burns. In a few minutes, opera singer Michelle Preto. And to start us off right now, from his new production of Carmen, and I'm going to let Paolo tell you the title of the song because I don't want to show him up, the magnificent Paolo Buffagni.
Thank you. I'm going to sing a song. It's called La fleur que tu m'avais jetée, which is the flower that you threw at me, and it's from my next show, Carmen. La fleur que tu m'avais jetée dans ma prison m'était restée, flétrie et sèche cette fleur, gardez toujours sa douce odeur. Et pendant des heures entières, sur mes yeux fermant mes paupières, de cette odeur je m'enivrais, et dans la nuit je te voyais. Je me prenais à te maudire, à te détester, à maudire. Pourquoi faut-il que le destin le mise là sur mon chemin? Oui, je m'accuse de blasphème, et je les entends en moi-même. Je les entends, un seul désir, un seul désir, un seul espoir de Carmen, oui, de revoir, quand tu n'avais qu'apparaître, quand je te regarde sur moi, pour t'apparaître du mon être. Oh ma Carmen, et je dis une chose à toi, Carmen, je And now I want to introduce Michelle Preto, my friend and a great singer, great soprano. Please, Michelle Preto.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Ou aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to someone who is not your typical magician. He is an illusionist and a mentalist, Mr. Tommy Burnett.
Thank you. Thank you. So before I begin, I'd like to explain, I was born with cerebral palsy, and thank God it wasn't so bad that I can walk around and I can talk. But it gave me a gift, if you will, to be able to read minds and do weird stuff. So if you're expecting me to do something like take a bottle and put it into a paper bag and then take the bag and go like that and get out of luck. I would like to try something with Steve, if you'd be willing to come up. Give Steve a round of applause. Thank you so much if you would stand over here.
Excuse me.
No, please. We're going to do a few things today, but first, since we've never met before today, I asked you earlier to think of 4 different numbers, is that correct?
That's right.
At no time you told me the number, at no time I saw the number.
No, I remember
Okay.
you even turned your back when I wrote it.
Okay, yes, I did turn my back. So what I'd like you to do is think of the number, think of all 4 digits, go to the very first one, and as I count from 0 to 9, I want you in your head only to scream, stop. 0, 1. Wait. Is the first digit a 1?
Yes,
It is. I think of the second digit. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is the second digit a 6?
Yes, it
It
is.
is. And no time you told me this number?
No, no.
Think of actually, think of the third number, but in your mind, count from 0 to 9, starting now. Stop. Did you stop on 3?
Yes,
You did?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
And then the last digit, just scream it out loud in your head. Oh, wow. You're very good at this. Is that the last digit, 1632? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And I even had it ready down to verify.
Yeah, me write it down
yeah.
in the green room.
1632. Thank you so much.
1632. That's great.
Since you're a good subject, would you mind helping me out with something else?
Well, sure.
Excellent.
Happy to.
Thank you so much. Have you ever seen anybody bend metal before, like using your mind?
Yes, I've
You have.
seen Uri Geller. Did he
Yes,
used to do
that's
that?
right,
Yes,
back in the
yes.
70s. Have you ever seen it up close?
No.
Well, you're in for a treat. I bent this one earlier, and I bent this one earlier too. It's pretty impressive.
Very
right?
impressive.
Now, it would be even more impressive if you had seen me do it, and then you believe me that I did it with my mind. it would be even more impressive if I could get you to do it.
I'd say impossible,
It
but
would be impossible. So I have some spoons here and some forks. I'll actually show you with a spoon first what's going to happen here if I just rub this. Actually, let's see if we can do it like this. Watch the handle of the spoon. If I just bend, rub this like that, you can actually see the handle of the spoon bending up. Let's see if we can do a little more here. Rub it like that. You can actually see the handle of the spoon rise as I rub it. Wow, that's really good. Wow.
there's a dirty joke in here somewhere, Tom, but I'm not going to go there, right?
Yeah, I think I know that one. Let's see. Okay, so let's give you an easy one. Okay, so we'll give you a choice. You can either use this one or this one. Which one would you like to use?
I'll go with that
Okay,
one.
great. So put one hand. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, great. So we'll put this here. I want you to close your hand around the fork. Okay, and you should feel something. Let me know if you feel. Put your arms straight out. Good. Let me know if you feel anything. You feel anything?
Yes, I
You
do.
do. Wow. Usually they don't. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to twist. Try to keep your hand tight. Twist.
I can feel it.
You feel like twisting, don't you? See, if you a little push it out. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You see that? Oh, oh my God. Check that out. Wow.
Amazing.
That's great. I'll actually let you keep that. So if, okay, once again, we're going to close your hand around, as this time we'll pull in a little bit, and we're just going to try to make it melt almost like butter. Okay, we go. Yeah, open your hand, and you can see it better right here. Cup your hands. Hopefully it will work. I don't know if it will. Oh, wow, it's like really hot right there. Whoa.
Wow.
He did that. He did that. One last thing I'll take. Let's see if we can just, yeah, okay.
Hey.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm just going to shake it, and I want you to blow on the fork. Okay? Oh, sorry, I'm just going to shake it. Just blow, a little harder, not quite that hard. Okay, whoa. Check that out, you see that?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful, Tom.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tommy Burnett, and thank you.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York. And we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Evan Ginsberg back with Legends TV, joined by Paolo, Michelle, educator Susan Burns, and of course my co-host Steve Ludwig. And this is a little bit of Ed Sullivan for you guys. We've had music, we've had magic. Later we're going to have the Beatles.
Yes.
What are you doing later, Steve?
Well, in honor of my joining the Madhouse Studios radio family, I have a Sunday morning Beatles hour. And we have a special Beatles video. It's fun that we're going to watch, and there are different clues hidden within the video, but that's later on in the show.
So that really does feel like Ed Sullivan, the Beatles.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Here they are.
And since you were with us last, you've been working on a movie project, Paolo. Tell us a little about that.
Well, we started, first of all, the director's name is Christian Piazza. He's an Italian fellow that I met a few years ago. And his project was putting together a couple of Italian people and created a movie about a dream to get a career, you know, on something. So there are three main characters. One is me, another one is Floriano Pagliara, and then there is Paolo Inferrera. Floriano is a boxer, and he was working in a pizzeria as a pizzaiolo. He was making pizza. Paolo Inferrera, it's a waiter, and it's a dreamer, and is kind of an artist. It's a very strange story, but you have to see the movie to understand. Then it's me working in a restaurant and you know, following a career, pursuing a career as a singer, opera singer. The movie is called Waiting for many reasons. First of all, because we wait to get from the restaurant or whatever our job to the career, to the top of our career, and also waiting because waiting on the table. Of course.
Sure, sure.
And everything, the process started in 2010. Christian plus all the other people working with him, they started to follow the three of us everywhere, from morning shower, morning shaving to a date to working, singing, everything, rehearsal for me, of course, coaching, regular life to the singing life. And my interview, the last interview I had, there's going to be part of this in the movie. The movie is actually done now, finally. Was in 2014. So then the movie was editing, and you know, the color and the audio and everything that was fixed and finished. And the movie now is out. Is actually was selected for this in Florida for a very well-known film festival. So very happy. And it's actually a movie. It's not just a documentary. It's a movie documentary, a full-length documentary movie. So the name is Waiting, and for whoever wants to see it, it's a documentary. Waiting, the movie that hard. But you're gonna show the demo.
Yeah, we're gonna show a clip in just a bit. Let me just throw this out there, Michelle. There's so many people in the arts who, they are waiting. They have a day job and they're trying to juggle the two. What is that fine line? Like Susan's a teacher and Steve's an ex-teacher, and I find that many teachers, it's almost delusional. They'll say, I'm a dancer, I'm a singer, I'm a writer, and then I'll say, have you been singing or dancing or writing? And they go, no, I'm too busy teaching. And I'll go, well, that's bull, because it's 180 days a year. So, you know, if you wanted to, you could still juggle both. Right. So it's a long-winded way of saying, what's the line between being a true artist who still has to pay the bills, or being somebody who's really, you know, they left their passion and they're doing something different?
Well, it's a level of creativity and how much confidence you have in your own ability to create. I think everybody has an artistic side, and a lot of people who feel this artistic force can bog themselves down and maybe hide out of fear, out of whatever, that will keep them back from doing what it is that they're actually called to do.
Some people it's a fear of failure, some people it's a fear of success.
Yeah, and a lot of people it's both at the same time.
Right.
Right? I know for myself, I had a fear of making a lot of noise. In my house, making noise was not a good thing. So here I was blessed with a very large voice, right? And I kept myself from making noise because that was what one had to do and when I was growing up. But I had to transcend that.
Your sister's a punk rocker. That's some real noise too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's a noisy household.
By the way, she got into punk rock after I did. I had to leave punk rock. My journey went somewhere else.
That's a movie. That's a documentary right there, from punk rocker to opera singer.
That's it. That's it.
There you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to show a clip from Waiting. We're going to give people a feel for this tremendous documentary. Check it out, folks.
Ho sognato, era così reale che per qualche motivo dovevo, ero a casa, stavo prendendo l'aereo, stavo tornando a casa e sono atterrato, ero in aeroporto e stavo per andare a casa ed era così reale, del tipo, quando sono arrivato, quando sono atterrato in Italia, la prima cosa che ho fatto era abbassare il suolo italiano, però allo stesso tempo ero tipo, cazzo, ma porca puttana, ho detto oh, ciao, nessuno.
Oggi, dopo tutta l'esperienza che ho avuto, cioè mi giro e mi guardo e penso a me stesso, riconosco due persone completamente differenti. Vedo un Floriano che è arrivato molto oltre dove poteva arrivare. La mia era una personalità quasi finita e arrivata in Italia, perché comunque quando sono partito avevo 28 anni, insomma ero già un uomo o quantomeno dovevo esserlo. E il carattere era ben formato, e invece comunque uscendo per un'esperienza sono dovuto ripartire da zero, cioè ho superato ogni tipo di difficoltà, perciò mi sento un uomo molto più forte.
Dura, ci sono momenti di sconforto, che ce ne sono tanti. Il fattore, diciamo, economico è stato uno dei peggiori, perché finisce che ti trovi proprio senza soldi, vuoi cercare di dipendere solo da te stesso. Si soffre tanto.
E infilarmi i guantoni e montare sul ring mi ha fatto sentire al di sopra di tutti. Non esiste sconfitta per l'uomo che lotta. E quella è stata la frase chiave che mi ha dato la spinta giusta per riaccendere il motore per ripartire.
Perché poi devo dire che io fino all'età di 21 anni ho vissuto dentro una campagna di vetro con la mia famiglia, perché avevo sempre più poco che mi davano, capisci? E allora ho deciso di prendere il biglietto e farmi un viaggetto negli Stati Uniti. Infatti dopo è iniziata una nuova avventura, possiamo dire.
Un grandissimo tonfo nel mondo dell'opera e la amo. Questo è quello che voglio fare.
You're going to hear the hammer 10 seconds before the end of the round.
Spaghetti
All right, Waiting, the documentary, and we're waiting to see it. Tell us how we could see it.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, give us contact info, URL.
Well, info is a documentary, waitingthemovie.org, and you can find on Facebook page. You can do the like and see all the information, and there will be, of course, you know, because they present it for festival stuff like that. You can't really show it to everybody before that.
Right.
So we'll take a little bit before it's going to be presented, but will be soon. You know, I'm very curious to see.
When you're ready, bring the director
Of
on the
course,
show
of
and we'll
course,
promote
I
it.
will for sure. I will for sure.
And Michelle, what have you been up to since your last appearance here?
Oh, lots of different little things. Paolo was kind enough to bring me into this gig where every month we present a different cut or smaller version of different operas. So every month it's something different. So you really have to keep moving with, and learning new stuff.
How many languages do you sing in?
Singing 7.
7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could barely speak English. Yeah.
You know, but I speak a bunch.
Wow.
You know, and yeah. So then we have Trovatore coming up the second Monday of May. And in Trovatore, that's the one with the anvil chorus. Dee, da, 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 that one.
Oh.
And yeah, it's going to be really good. Let's see. Yeah, I've been traveling a bunch because of singing and work and stuff like that.
And you're going to make your fortune as the first person to do a mashup of punk rock and opera. That would be different.
That's really what I'm aiming for.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true.
If anybody could pull that off, it's you.
You know, and I'll get my motorcycle and we'll get it all together.
And you bring the motorcycle on stage. It'd be
That's how we do it.
like Rocky Horror. That'd be powerful.
Right?
That's right.
I agree. I
You
agree.
can team up with the punk could be waiting and hating.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So we have.
You get paid by the hour, right?
Yeah.
I'll just keep moving down.
Susan Burns is a lifelong educator. She's been at the Department of Education, Office of Adult and Continuing Ed for quite a while. And Steve Ludwig is a retired teacher out of New Jersey. He taught history to middle school.
Yeah, mostly language arts. I taught history secondarily, but
So here's the big question. You have opera singers. We have every genre of music on this show. Why isn't there more music in the schools, art in the school, arts in general? I think it's sadly lacking. As two educators, what's your take on that?
Well, that's more with the younger crowd, and I teach adults, but we do things like that in the class. For example, students will bring music that's typical from their native country, and we'll listen to that. Some of my students love to draw, and they'll do pictures of other students, characters of other students. We'll put that up. But they're, in my classes, mainly there to learn how to speak American English
Right.
and to understand it. So that's the main focus.
And what about for kids, Steve? Don't you think there should be more arts in the classroom?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, education, the hires up stupidly because you can't measure art and drawing and singing on the state tests.
Right.
No A, B, C, D.
An
F.
angry ex-teacher. There we go.
Which is why I'm an
Yes.
ex-teacher.
Yeah.
But extracurricular activities such as art and music and things like that have saved students. I taught for
Absolutely.
38 years. I don't know where some of these students would have been if it was just straight math, yes, just academics.
yeah.
And that's an outlet. And to be a well-rounded person, you need much more than testing.
Absolutely.
So that's
Winston Churchill actually said something to that effect. They were talking about closing down the theaters during the Blitzkrieg, right? So London was getting bombed every day. And they were saying, well, shouldn't you close down the theaters to protect the people, you know, from themselves? There's 400 people in a place, and it's really, and it's one bomb and everybody dies, right? And he's like, then what would the people be living for?
Oh,
so.
exactly. Boy,
Absolutely.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
And
so
Susan,
true.
quickly plug the big event coming up in Adult
Okay,
Ed.
for Adult Ed, it was the New York City Adult Basic Education 36th Annual Conference. Experience plus innovation equals success. Will be held on Saturday, May 16th from 8 to 4:15 p.m. at the High School of Fashion Industries. There's going to be 27 workshops, book publishers, panel discussion of urgent issues, roundtable, taking action, revitalizing adult education. For more information, go to www.nycabeconsortium.weebly.com.
They need a longer URL so nobody could absorb it.
I'm on the
Okay.
planning committee.
That's
but
the first
I
thing you should plan, to shorten the URL.
I will bring that to the committee at the next meeting. And we hope that, you know, all educators and students are welcome. It's $15 pre-registration, $20 at the door.
Two
And-
drink minimum. No, I'm joking.
No, that's after the conference is
I know how to
over.
juggle.
That's right.
And, you know, there's publishers are going to have new books to show us, and you'll get a lot of hints and ideas to take back to use in your own classrooms.
There you go. Later in the show, we're going to see a video by Michelle, live, beautiful performance. We're also going to see Steve's Beatles video. We're going to have some talk on pro wrestling, opera and wrestling, the perfect combination. And before we do that, let's just, everybody plug whatever you want to plug. Steve, your radio shows?
Well, planetludwig.com is Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture, but also iTunesusa.com is the website for the Sunday morning Madhouse Beatles show.
And Steve's book, See You and CCU, they cut him open and he's still here.
That's
there
right.
You go.
I have a zipper right here.
That's
and,
right.
And that's Evan's book, too, by the way.
Apartment 4B, like in Brooklyn, about the turbulent East Flatbush of the 60s and 70s. Check it out. Paolo, website?
My website is paolobuffagni.com, which is PaoloBuffagni.com. And also please go to waitingthemovie.org and check us on Facebook. And please come to see my next show, which is Carmen. Carmen is going to be, for me, my two shows are going to be May the 17th and the 23rd.
Where?
And with the Regina Opera. You can find information on reginaopera.org. Okay.
I like just listening to you talk. Forget singing. You have that sound, right, Susan?
Of course.
Susan cries every time you sing. Do you
I
know
know,
this?
and she's like, when I sing well and she cries, I'm happy because I know that there's good response. It means I sing well.
All right. And Michelle?
You can see everything that's going on with me at michellepreto.com.
And spell your last name.
Okay. My first name is Michelle. It has 2 L's in it. My last name is Preto. That has 2 T's in it. It's Pretto.
There you go.
.com.
All right. When we come back, we're going to see a nice clip of Michelle in action at the opera and much, much more. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Tom Neely from Madhouse TV, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhouse TV. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Stretching under sedation, or manipulation under anesthesia, is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners. Stretching on
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, TMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with your one and only Madhouse TV.
You are the man.
All right, we are back with Legends TV. We're going to go from opera to pro wrestling and then back to opera, only on Legends TV. So, Mike, you're always talking about all these great indie shows. You believe in supporting independent wrestling. Tell us what's hot. Tell us what's not. Tell us what you've been checking out.
All right, well, just recently I picked up tickets to the Legends of Wrestling at Citi Field, where there'll be a bunch of the legends signing for a couple hours, and then there's about 6 or 7 indie matches.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something specifically about this show. Okay, I was tempted to go to this. There's some great names on it, but they don't list the lineup. In the old days, when you would go to Madison Square Garden, you would know Bruno's wrestling so-and-so, this is the tag title, whatever, this is the Intercontinental Champ, and you knew exactly what was happening. Don't promoters realize that if you have a hot main event and a attractive lineup as opposed to just a bunch of miscellaneous names, it's more of a draw, at least to us old school guys?
No, I think unfortunately what they're doing is they're trying to get people to focus on the autographs and all that other stuff that you have to pay extra money for. Because when you buy that one ticket for $30 just to get in, all you get with that is the matches, and it's almost like they're making the matches a secondary thing.
Well, what if you're like me and you could care less about the autographs and you want to see a good wrestling card? If I don't know who's wrestling, I have mixed emotions about it.
Yeah, and I agree with you with that, because I'm kind of done with the autograph sessions and the convention setting. But I'm going with someone who's a new wrestling fan, and he really wants to do the autograph thing. But I really want to see the matches.
Yeah. ICW is coming back to the beautiful Elks Lodge, the exotic Elks Lodge on Queens Boulevard next Friday. And that's a quality indie promotion. They have Amazing Red, and they always have top guys. And the promoter, Jack Sabbath, he knows his wrestling. Like, he knows this guy could work, and he knows who to pair together. And I've never gone to one of their shows where I regretted it. And it's $20, $30. It's a cheap night out compared to most,
Yeah, and I thought I read somewhere that he had almost 400 people there.
I was at the last show.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, Samoa Joe and Danny DeMonto, and yeah, it was packed in a snowstorm. So the fans will come out when they want to see something.
Right.
So when promoted right, when you have the right people on it, indie wrestling, I tell people all the time, indie wrestling, minor league baseball, there's very few things that are still a bargain. And that's one of them. I mean, you go to a movie today, it's $15 or more. So you can see a live wrestling show, $10, $15, $20. It's an attractive package.
Yeah. Also picked up some tickets for Ring of Honor.
I love ROH.
In August at MCU Stadium in Brooklyn. It's always a fun show.
I was talking with Chaz Kangas, who writes for the Village Voice. He's also a rapper, and he's been on the show. I said to him, Ring of Honor, during the period where Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson, who's now Daniel Bryan, and Austin Aries, and Morishima, and all the great Japanese wrestlers, 2008 or so, it was as good as any wrestling group I've ever seen, except for maybe the NWA of the 80s with Flair and the Horsemen and the Road Warriors and Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express. Except for maybe that, I would say that period of Ring of Honor was as great as anything I've ever seen.
Were you a fan of the original ECW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say ROH in that period was superior.
Okay.
What do you think?
I tend to like the ECW style a little better.
Well, I love Terry. I saw Terry Funk and Sabu. I mean, you know, it's untouchable. But what I found with ECW, and I know this isn't popular. Steve's a wrestling fan too, so just jump in. Yeah. But what I found with ECW was, as it went on, now you're going through 3 flaming tables. Now you're going through 4 flaming tables. It almost got cartoonish. Like, to me, the peak of ECW was when Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero had that 1-hour match on TV. That's wrestling elevated to art. I don't really need to see, you know, the 27th balcony leap.
What I liked especially about ECW was, even though you know it's scripted, I still had the feeling that anything could happen, like off script on ECW. Right. You really never knew how wild they were going to get.
Heyman was a genius because he could take guys that were kind of limited and turn them into huge stars. And some of these guys were not great wrestlers, but he knew exactly what to do with them.
Sandman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they really played to the crowd, the wrestlers in ECW. You know, they really were dictated by the crowd. At least it seemed that way, you know, as a viewer.
Okay. And Steve, you have a video that you want to screen, so set this up.
Yeah. Okay. Mike, can you speak with Evan for 10 seconds? I just have to grab something off camera.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That was well planned.
That was.
Yeah.
Very good. So, what do you think?
So what's the next show you're going to?
Next show
Okay,
is...
that's good, Mike.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
No, go right ahead.
One of the NYWC shows here locally, I think, is one of my next shows.
Yeah, I've been to many of their shows, including that crazy Cage of Doom or whatever
Yeah,
you call that. What's
yeah.
that called?
Oh, I think, is it done during the Psycho Circus?
Psycho Circus,
Yeah,
that's it, that's it. They have like every weapon under the sun inside this wacky cage, and that's like their big show. That's like their WrestleMania.
It is.
Yeah. So what about Extreme Rules?
I'm curious to see how this Russian chain match is with Cena and Rusev.
A bloodless chain match,
It's
most
going to
likely.
be a far cry from what we used to see with Koloff and
that's right.
in the Garden. So, but I'm just curious.
Okay, okay. And Steve, what you got for us?
Okay, well, I thought in honor of, like I said earlier, now being a member of the Madhouse Studio radio family, I'm already a member of the TV family, my Sunday morning shows at 8 a.m. on iTunesUSA.com. I thought we'd watch a video that the Beatles had made in 1995. Now, John Lennon had already been murdered, unfortunately, but...
So what made him decide to come back for this video?
It was just such an important video to be made that he rose. And actually, it was a demo that John had been making between 75 and 80. He was killed in 1980. Yoko gave it to Paul McCartney, the demo, because in 95 was 25-year anniversary. They were making the anthology. And so Yoko said, why don't you finish this off? John started it. So it's called Free as a Bird. And what's great about the video is that there are all different clues to different Beatles songs. And just, you don't have to memorize this, everybody, but just to show you, all these different songs are somehow illustrated or shown within this video.
Steve goes through hours and hours of preparation for this show.
This is
Look
from
at
my
this.
teaching background.
That's right.
I have a lot of oak tag at home that I never got to use. But anyway, there are so many Beatles songs that are referenced. And just before we watch the video, because of copyright issues, believe it or not, on YouTube, the video itself is shown backwards. But the song is straightforward. But it doesn't matter.
Backwards with Spanish subtitles.
With Spanish subtitles, because it was the best.
You know, most of the videos I enjoy watching are backwards with Spanish subtitles. I just want to let you know.
Si, senor.
So this is video 3 for our director, Tom. This is not the opera video.
Yeah, and
video
see how
3.
many Beatle references you can find in this video.
right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And Steve, give us the inside scoop on the backwoods Spanish subtitled video that we just saw.
Well, Apple, the Beatles company, is very strict on showing some things on YouTube. But in order to show it on YouTube, as long as it was backwards, the video itself, it was okay. So anyway, some of you may notice there were some subtle clues. For instance, there was a bakery shop, and in the window was a birthday cake. It said "Happy Birthday" with the age 64. Well, that referenced two Beatles songs, "When I'm 64" and "Birthday." There was a video. A part of the video was a girl going into a window. That's the song "She Came In Through the Bathroom Window." But it referenced over.
I've never heard that song.
She came in through the bathroom window.
I'm a P-Funk guy. Yeah.
So it was such a clever video, and it was made in 1995. It was to celebrate the Beatles' 25-year anniversary since the split. So they made this big, it was a big 3 anthology set thing that was made, and the video was fantastic. And I really did that in honor of being on iTunesusa.com now Sunday mornings. Tom Milley just told me that in addition to the regular 8 a.m. show, at 9 a.m. we're going to listen to a second show tomorrow morning. And the second one is all psychedelic Beatles. So if you have any kind of special tea at home, you might want to have it for
there you go.
breakfast.
All right.
Get into it.
All right. And Mike, you work for a very special organization. Tell us briefly about them.
Yes, I work for an agency in New York City called Fountain House, and we work with mentally ill adults, and we take volunteers, we'll take donations. So if anyone's interested, just go to fountainhouse.org.
There you go. And I spent an evening over there screening The Wrestler, which I was one of the producers on, and we had a great time. Great organization.
They still ask me about it today.
Well, maybe we'll do it again one day. It was fun.
All right.
It was fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to show you Michelle Preto's beautiful performance. You're going to enjoy this. And after the commercials, we're going to come back with magician Tommy Burnett and talk a little magic. So, eclectic mix as always. Check out Michelle in action.
blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! He's my kid guy. I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Oh, Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
All right, we are back with Legends TV. We have spanned the gamut from opera to wrestling to magic, and joining us, magician Tommy Burnett. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
There you go, there you go. And that set was very interesting. And my first question that popped into my head, as a magician, how does it feel when you see modern TV magicians exposing the business, as we say in wrestling? When they tell you how the tricks are done, does that bother you?
Yeah, it's the same, really. Some people need attention.
Attention.
Yeah. I think it puts a bad light on up-and-coming magicians, especially like on YouTube. You have all these young kids, like 10, 11, 12 years old, and they learn sleight of hand, and then they want to show
how they do it.
And
Right.
it's really a shame.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
We should make some of those kids disappear.
We should.
Yeah.
You know,
I have, but don't tell me.
Okay, right.
With that being said, Tommy, how did you bend the fork?
No,
actually, you bent it.
Yeah.
I just help you along.
So, I see magic on so many different levels, from little shows inside of magic shops to these Vegas extravaganzas. What do you prefer as a magician?
I actually, I love it all. I've performed in the biggest audience I've performed in front of was about 550 people. But I really like doing intimate stuff.
Right.
I got into doing mind reading and spoon bending and psychic phenomena stuff because I like to make a connection with people. It's more, for me, it's more about making a connection than it is about doing a trick.
Okay.
You know, that's one reason why I stopped doing sleight of hand. A lot of people ask me, well, you must know sleight of hand. I do, but I refuse to do sleight of hand anymore in a public forum because I don't want people to think that what I do is a trick.
All right.
I'm not claiming it's real. I'm claiming it's unreal.
Okay. Okay. And who are some of your favorite magicians, Mike?
Oh, Tommy Burnett, of course.
There you go. Right answer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody else.
That's right.
Seconds in the mail.
Yeah, I want to toot his horn for him a little bit. In addition to the magic that he does, he also writes, directs, produces, and edits his own short films.
Wow.
And I've been in several of them. So this gentleman
That's
here,
true, yeah.
there's a lot of talent here.
Wow. And where can we see these?
They are on YouTube.
You have your own channel.
Yes.
And what's the name of the channel?
I am a thought reader. All one word.
I am a thought reader.
All one word.
One word.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can look up my name, Tommy Burnett.
Because Tommy Burnett is a pretty common name.
It is. Truth be told, that's my stage name. My given name
is Mike Brown.
Is
no.
Tom Jones.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's not unusual.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah. I was down in the Village, and I met a singer singing in the park, and her name was Judy Collins. I said, "You better change your name." It's a little tough to match up to that.
Well, David Bowie, his real name is David Jones, and that was
like the Monkees.
So that's why he changed it to David Bowie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I decided to change my name to Tommy Burnett, even though it's a fairly common name. I don't get the usual or unusual jokes about Tom Jones. Have you read the book? Have you seen the movie?
Right.
Can you sing? How many pairs of women's underwear do you have?
Okay, it was a bad joke. I mean, lay off, okay? I'm sorry. One bad joke.
So, what is the state of magic in 2015? We always see David Blaine and the TV magicians, but as far as stage magic, is it as popular? Is it less popular?
Depends on where you live. In Vegas, it's very popular.
Sure.
In LA, they have the Magic Castle, and they have live performances all the time. Here on the East Coast, it's a little harder to find a good venue. I perform on a fairly regular basis at a place in Regal Park out in Queens. There are a couple of venues in Manhattan. Monday Night Magic is a very popular one. Very hard to get in, but hopefully one day I'll be performing.
I went to that. It's very entertaining.
It is very entertaining, and they get headliners like now that I'm on the spot, I forget who's been there, but I've seen a lot of top performers.
What do you think of these big splashy shows like Gazillion Bubbles or whatever it's called? As a magician, what's your take on that?
I actually saw Gazillion Bubbles, and I thought it was fun.
I basically enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's more for kids. But,
it's definitely more for kids. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I do a wide range of stuff. I do something that is called geek magic, or sideshow, like taking a 4.5-inch nail and driving it into my skull.
You do that?
Yeah, for your entertainment pleasure.
Can you drive a nail into Steve's skull for us? yeah.
Believe me, nothing will be injured.
I could. It's a little different from reading his mind, because reading his mind won't scar him for life.
Scar you for life, Tommy.
I have a science question for you guys.
Okay.
It just occurred to me. There's always these stories, there's an explosion, and a nail or some kind of metal goes into the guy's head, and 1 minute he's a nice guy, the next minute he's a mean guy, or he was a mean guy, now he's a nice guy. Why would that change your personality?
Well, there's actually, this is really the first time in my entire life I will be able to tell this story. I studied psychology in college. And a very famous story is about a guy named Phineas forget his last name. Hopefully it'll come back to me. But he worked for the railroad.
Right.
And he accidentally got a railroad spike stuck in the top of his head, and it came out the bottom of his
That's
chin.
what you call a rough day at work.
It's a really bad day at work.
Yeah, right.
Really bad day at work. But apparently, it travels through the part of the brain that changes your personality. And apparently, he used to be a gruff, angry person, and he became docile. They weren't able to remove.
Well, that was good, because now he was docile.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like an instant lobotomy.
Wow.
But that
He was too docile.
Yeah, a little bit. But that was one of my favorite stories in psychology.
His nickname was Spike, I think.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
You really nailed that one.
Yeah.
He let it go to his head, though.
So whenever you think magic, the first name that usually comes up is Houdini.
Mhm.
What is it almost 100 years later that people are still talking about him?
He loved people. He was also a tremendous showman.
And he knew how to promote himself.
Yeah, definitely a good promoter. Much better than me in my case. He had that personality that people liked. He wasn't that good of a musician.
Wasn't that good?
And a lot of musicians will tell you that. He was adequate.
But better as an escape artist, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, even that was more of a show.
Right.
Today, magic has changed throughout the years because of technology, so like, some people now use like an iPad or their phone in their act. I don't, because I don't want people to think I'm using any kind of electronics.
Right.
But because of technology, in one way it's made magic better, but in one way it's made it worse. It's made it better because we come up with new effects that were not possible to perform like 20 years ago.
Right.
But on the same level, I would not want to depend on something electronic that broke right before I needed it to work. So everything I do is organic.
That's why you should only use oak tag.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
It's always very dependable, old school
material.
Yeah.
Right. See, now what's good, Tommy, is you can use the other side of those oak tags.
That's right.
That's right.
Teachers always had to be.
And I haven't used the word oak tags since second grade.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Those were three of the best years of your life, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Steve's the nostalgia guy, and I don't know if you remember this. The funniest thing I ever saw on TV, ever, Pat Paulson, he had this show. He gets into a tank of water, and he's chained like Houdini, but he's drowning. He doesn't escape. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Do you remember this?
On the Smothers Brothers, maybe?
No, he had his own. He had his own summer replacement show.
Pat Paulson for president.
Yeah. He was a funny guy.
He sure was. Yeah.
And he would run for president every couple of years.
Yeah.
And it was like hopeless, but the guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
Tommy, did you have one of those, as a kid, one of those magic kits that's...
I did. I actually have one of my own. I have one of my own now.
That you made? You mean?
Yeah, it has my name and my face on it. You can see it on my website, www.tommyburnet.com.
Which I had to pay full price for, by the way.
Yes, you did. All my friends had to pay full price. I gotta make a living.
Plus, when you go to his house to eat, you get bent forks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think for his birthday,
that's great. What's in that magic
I gave him a whole dining room set, but it was all bent.
What's in the magic kit?
A lot of the same stuff that was in my very first kit. The ball and vase, where you take a red ball and put it in the vase, and you wave your hand and you lift your cover off, and the ball's gone.
White dove, big bunny rabbit.
Well,
that comes with the kit, right?
The kit is only
I'm
this
joking.
size, so.
The little sponge rabbit.
There's the one where you turn a penny into a dime. I think they call it PK rings. There's a couple of rings that stick together, and you can spin the one on the bottom with no magnets. Stuff like that.
It's TommyBurnett.com.
Yes. Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah. I may have to reorder some, but I have those, and I have some other magic items, a flaming wallet that I have for sale. Yeah.
I'd like to make some of the wrestling fans disappear. They could be annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, first row ringside has an IQ of a glazed donut. You ever? Anyway.
But you know, the people that sit in the first row do have nice teeth. Both of the teeth are very nice.
That's funny.
No, but seriously.
God, the wrestling fans are going to hate us. I actually.
Well, Evan told me to say that.
Actually, some of the most eclectic people I've ever met, like Mike, like Steve, you know, are wrestling fans.
Yeah.
You know, it takes all kinds. What gets me nervous are the guys who like 3 a.m. are reminiscing about Chris Benoit.
Right.
Those guys can get you nervous.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, I don't know how you feel, Mike, and Tommy too, but with wrestling, it's a fine line. Like, you're amazed at the artistry. If you say it all the time, it really is an art form if it's done
when
well.
done right, it's magic.
And it's a soap opera, and it's great entertainment.
And the match is telling a story if it's done right.
And not to overkill the idea, but they are athletes, for crying out loud. Oh my God!
Tremendous athletes
for the most part.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just 2 guys in the ring. There's no team. There's no water. There's no Gatorade. You have to be in. You know, your cardio has to be good. You have to perform. People, when you see a guy like Finn Balor, Prince Devitt, you know, guys like this, you know, these guys are world-class athletes. I don't care what anybody says. If somebody doesn't realize that, they don't understand it.
I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're rapidly running out of time. One last question. Career highlights. When you think of your career, what comes to mind?
Performing in Sweden.
Sweden?
Yes.
Wow.
I did about a week's worth of shows and street performing in Stockholm.
Wow.
About 3 years ago, and it was a lot of fun.
Steve once performed in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yeah, I wasn't asked to.
Right. Sweden, very impressive.
I got lost in Fort Lee once.
Oh, really?
On purpose.
I had an old girlfriend in Fort Lee. I was crazy about her.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another story.
Do we have enough time for me to do one quick
Very
thing?
little. Hit us with it. Hit us with it.
In this envelope, I have a prediction. And Evan, I would like you to think of any playing card in a deck of cards. Just think of any playing card.
Okay.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Say it out loud for the viewers.
Jack of Spades.
Okay, I don't think you understand how this works. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Jack of Spades. Okay, you heard him. He said the King of Hearts.
Right.
No, Jack of Spades. Okay, so in here I have the Jack of Spades. And the other 51 cards.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see, I think hopefully the camera can pick this up. In here I put one card upside down. It should be right here, yeah. And all the other cards are face up. And you have the what?
Jack of Spades.
Which happens
Wow.
to be
Wow.
the only card upside down.
There you go.
in the deck.
There you go. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me on your show.
TommyBurnett.com. Check it out.
Thank
Check
you.
it out. That'll about do it for Legends TV. Next week, wrestlers, musicians. Ed Sullivan meets Joe Franklin. Always an eclectic mix. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.